They say that only legends know the truth about sheep, but not everyone believes in sheep. Some people think they're just dumb farm animals that can be led anywhere by their shepherd. But if that were true, then why do 90% of them escape their enclosures every year? Well, because sheep are smarter than you think. In fact, they're so smart that they have perfect memories. You see, sheep have to remember the location of their herd mates and their lambs, all while avoiding predators like wolves and coyotes. If they forget where one of their herd mates is, they might end up fighting over nothing or worse, getting eaten. So it's in their best interest to keep track of where everyone is at all times. Thanks to their incredible spatial memory, they can do just that. Studies have shown that sheep can remember the location of over 500 different objects in their environment for months at a time. That's why you often see them walking around in circles. They're not trying to annoy you. They're trying to get their bearings. By doing this, they're able to remember where everything is in relation to themselves, so they know how to navigate around it. This ability is what allows them to escape their enclosures so often. All they have to do is remember the layout of the land and then retrace their steps until they get home. But there's even more to these woolly wonders than meets the eye. They're also capable of recognizing themselves in the mirror, which is something that most animals can't do. Researchers believe that this is because sheep have self-conscious thoughts and emotions, which means they're constantly aware of themselves and their environment. Because of this, they are able to use mirrors to figure out what they look like from different angles and then use that information to better navigate tight spaces. In fact, sheep are so self-aware that they can even recognize human faces and associate them with certain emotions. For example, they can tell when their shepherd is happy or sad and will act accordingly. They're also capable of feeling a wide range of emotions, including fear, anger, excitement, and joy. And just like us, these emotions can influence their behavior. For example, if a sheep is feeling scared, it might run away or freeze in place. If it's feeling playful, it might jump and run around in circles. And if it's feeling angry, it might charge at the source of its irritation and head, And don't think for a second that sheep don't have the ability to be social. They're actually very social creatures who like to spend time with their herd mates. They communicate with each other through a variety of vocalizations, including bleating, and they're also capable of recognizing individual humans and distinguishing between familiar and unfamiliar sheep. In fact, sheep are so social that they can develop separation anxiety if they've re-separated from their favorite herd mates. This is why it's important for shepherds to keep their flocks close together and monitor them regularly. If a sheep gets lost or separated from the herd, it could panic and run into danger. Now, we know what you're thinking. All this talk about sheep makes us sound like we're trying to sell you some wool. But we assure you there's no ulterior motive here. We just want to raise awareness about these amazing animals and their incredible abilities. Maybe you've always thought of sheep as dumb, fluffy things that are just good for their wool or meat. But now you know that they're capable of so much more than you ever imagined. They're intelligent, curious, emotional, and social creatures who deserve our respect and admiration. So the next time you see a flock of sheep, take a closer look and appreciate the amazing animals that they are. Who knows, maybe you'll learn something new and make a woolly friend along the way. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.